Teresa Giudice drops hint she's leaving Housewives. The fate of the Real Housewives of New Jersey is up in the air after a tense season. The season 14 cast couldn't even get along enough to film a reunion. Instead, they separately watched the footage from the final episode and shared their reactions in real time. Teresa Giudice fueled rumors that she's not returning for another season with her social media activity. Keep reading to find out what she said. Housewives reset. The Real Housewives of New Jersey was the fourth of the popular Bravo series to air. Teresa Giudice is the only OG left after 14 seasons. However, rumors persist that the entire cast will be replaced for the next season. The season 14 cast reportedly refused to film a reunion special, leaving the show's future up in the air. Is it the end of an era for Teresa Giudice? Teresa Giudice drops hint she's leaving Bravo show. Firing an entire cast and bringing in newbies has been done on Bravo before. They fired all of the Real Housewives of New York stars in 2022 after allegations of racism and other problematic behavior. An all-new cast led season 14 of Housewives, and the newbies are all returning for season 15 when it premieres on Bravo on October 1st. A final decision about Housewives is still in question. But did Teresa Giudice confirm she was leaving the show with a series of cryptic social media posts? She shared an inspirational quote about moving on. Fans react to her cryptic posts. The cryptic quotes about her future come as Teresa Giudice and her husband, Louis Rulis, enjoy a European vacation to celebrate their second wedding anniversary. I think she knows she is getting the boot. Brace yourselves for the incoming meltdowns. I think I see a pause in her future. It makes her sound like she's being persecuted. She should be saying this about Louis. Please let this mean she just disappears. She sees the writing on the wall. She got fired. The reunion of the Real Housewives of New Jersey has always been a spectacle, full of dramatic revelations, emotional confrontations, and, of course, the kind of jaw-dropping moments that only Teresa Giudice can deliver. But recently, the air around the Queen of New Jersey has been filled with an unsettling energy. A statement, almost offhandedly made during one of her interviews, has left fans gasping and speculating. Teresa Giudice, a foundational member of Housewives, may be on the verge of leaving the show that made her a household name. It all began with a casual comment made while she was promoting her latest cookbook and business ventures, which have kept her busier than ever. "I just don't know how much longer I'll be on the show," Teresa said, with an air of finality that seemed to go unnoticed by many at the time. But for the hardcore Housewives fans who have followed Teresa's journey through both the highs and lows of her life, those words hit differently. Was she truly contemplating life beyond the show? For nearly 14 years, Teresa has been the heartbeat of Housewives. From her infamous table flip to her prison sentence, she's endured it all and built an empire on the back of her unapologetic personality. But now, as the show evolves, it seems like Teresa might be ready to evolve as well. The shifting dynamics of Housewives. Teresa's relationship with the show has always been complicated. She started as the fiery, unpredictable force at the center of every season, but over time, the dynamics between her and the rest of the cast have become increasingly strained. Her loyalty to her family has often placed her at odds with her co-stars, leading to feuds that have lasted for seasons. Perhaps the most significant of those rifts has been with her brother, Joe Gorga, and his wife, Melissa Gorga, who both share the spotlight with her but have often clashed with her on screen. The tension between Teresa and the Gorgas reached a breaking point during the most recent season, with explosive arguments and shocking betrayals that had fans wondering if the family could ever heal. It seemed like an era of Housewives was coming to an end, and Teresa, who had always been the anchor, was uncertain about where she fit into this new landscape. As the show's format shifted to include a new generation of housewives, including the dynamic Jennifer Aydin and the ice-cold, calculating Margaret Josephs, Teresa's role as the Queen Bee seemed to diminish. Where once she had the power to start a fight with a raised eyebrow, she now found herself outnumbered and alienated by the newer cast members, who questioned her choices and motives. Life after RHONJ, Teresa's next chapter. But what will life after RHONJ look like for Teresa? The idea of her stepping away from the show isn't as shocking as it seems at first. Over the years, Teresa has built an impressive brand for herself. With her cookbooks, beauty line, and a strong social media presence, she's crafted an empire independent of the show. More recently, her wedding to Luis Ruelas was a highly publicized affair, and it seemed like Teresa had found peace in her personal life, something that was elusive for so long. Luis, who has been an unwavering support system for Teresa, has made it clear that he wants to help her focus on other aspects of her life. The couple's businesses are booming, and they've shown no signs of slowing down. So it's not out of the question that Teresa could leave the show to focus on her family, her businesses, and her personal growth. After all, she's been through so much, and her fans have watched her grow from a reality star to a full-fledged entrepreneur. There's also the possibility that Teresa is merely exploring new opportunities. Would a departure from RHONJ open the door for her to create her own show? Maybe a reality series centered around her life with Luis and their blended family, where viewers could see a more relaxed, authentic Teresa without the pressure of the Housewives format. Or perhaps Teresa is ready to step into the world of talk shows, using her unique voice and personality to build a new platform for herself. The fans' reaction: shock, confusion, and hope. When Teresa made her cryptic statement, the fans' reactions were divided. Longtime viewers of RHONJ expressed sadness at the idea of the show moving on without Teresa. She had been the face of RHONJ for so long that it was hard to imagine the show without her. Fans lamented that the drama and emotional depth that Teresa brought to the show would be a tough act to follow. Her ability to keep fans on the edge of their seats, whether she was involved in a heated argument or showing a softer, more vulnerable side, was unmatched. On the other hand, some fans expressed hope for Teresa's future. After all, she's already gone through so much, from her legal troubles to her tumultuous family dynamics, and now she's in a position to focus on the things that make her happy. Fans of her journey to find love and balance in her life with Luis celebrated the idea of her stepping away from the spotlight and prioritizing herself for a change. There's also the lingering question of whether Teresa will ever be able to fully sever ties with RHONJ. As one of the original Housewives, her place in the RHONJ history is secure. If she were to leave, it would signal the end of an era. Yet, with her track record of comebacks, it wouldn't be out of the question for her to take a break and return when the time is right, perhaps even with a whole new approach to her story. The future of RHONJ without Teresa. If Teresa does, in fact, leave RHONJ, it begs the question: what's next for the show? Would it continue to thrive without her at the center, or would it struggle to find its footing without its iconic star? The future of RHONJ would undoubtedly change with her departure, but one thing is for certain: Teresa Giudice's legacy on the show would never be forgotten. Whatever the future holds, Teresa Giudice has made it clear that she's not tied to the show forever. She has other ventures and goals that don't involve the cameras and drama of RHONJ. Whether she stays or leaves, Teresa's story is far from over, and her next chapter will undoubtedly be just as captivating as her time on the show.